Hello, my name is Jeff Speck. I'm a student at Full Sail University. I'm studying digital cinematography. I'm here today to interview Carly Bernard. She's a photographer from Rockford, Illinois.
Hello, I am Carly the photographer, and we are standing outside of my brand new establishment, Third Eye Studios. And in here we offer a wide range of services from photography, obviously. We do the studio photography. We do gallery shows. This is one of my partners, Tiger Ratola. He is our sound man. He does projections. He creates music. We also have another artist named Angelia Massetti, who is our tattoo artist in here. And our establishment is more of a co-op. We like to encourage other artists to get on board and come into our big kid playground and create. Come on inside.
Carly, what do you see as the role of visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in your profession as a photographer?
Well, to give you a visual, it would be the comparison between reading a novel and looking in a picture book. It's the same thing in media. You're used to getting your information in your ears, now we've got it on the web. When they put images in it, you can place yourself in the situation. You can feel the emotion in the scene. Take the Occupy Wall Street, for example. It's one thing to hear about the mass amounts of people and the turnout, and it's another thing to be on the news channel and to see it for your own eyes and see the group forming, and it really just gives you more emotion behind it. It feels like you can identify more, and there's pros and cons in that. The good thing is that visuals play on seeing is believing, and if you can see it, like I said, you can better identify. The cons to that would be images, whether they're photos or videos. Images can be twisted, they can be enhanced, they can be distorted, they can be bent to manipulate a truth or twist a truth, and we have problems with that in our media all the time. And some people just look at what they're given with all these images and take it at face value, and it might make them disinclined to do more research on the matter because they feel like they have all the facts with their pictures and with the news that they've been given. So it could be a very good thing, or it could be, a really bad thing.
How does that pertain to your profession as a photographer?
My profession as a photographer, it pertains because what I do with my images is, there's many styles of photography, but the way I break it down is you can show somebody a crystal clear as day, undisputable image and show them what is going on, or you can set up your lights, you can have an idea, you can create something from the ground up that you want to express to the world. And when it works with media, it's the exact same way. They can give you a visual of exactly what's going on, and you can feel like you have the whole truth, or they can kind of give you something a little bit vague. And art is all about perception, and how it is about how you're going to perceive it, and it's different for everybody.
With the new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry?
I believe that is also bittersweet. The same pros and cons that pertain to the last question. The world really likes instant gratification, and we really feel like we're in the know if we have something instantly and a visual on top of the information that we have been given. So to have that kind of makes you feel more in the loop, but it's a little deceiving sometimes when organizations market through imagery in a very certain way. Certain colors pertain to feelings, and it can make you want to buy more. It can make you drawn to a place of business. It can make you drawn or distracted from anything. And again, I have to hit on that it's all about perception in the person, and it's not going to be the same way for every person. So it could be a really good thing or a really bad thing.
So here we are with Carly again in the framing room at Third Eye Studios. We're going to continue our questions with, what popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry?
I'm going to have to say sex. It is well known that sex sells, and beyond that, clothing is getting more risque. appearances are flashier and brighter and louder, and I credit that to the film and the music industry prominently. I mean, it's everywhere. It's in SpongeBob, it's in Disney movies, it is everywhere you could ever think of, but the loud projection of it, I notice it the most in the music industry.
Are there particular images that the industry has popularized or created?
I definitely believe so. The norm to where we believe that a thicker body is what society wants you to have, the image of sex. Flashy appearances, the crazy hairstyles we're seeing, the loud, vibrant colors in our clothing, I credit that all to the music industry and to mostly the music industry. Film does it too, and it's broadening and widening just this idea that sex sells, and to be this socially accepted person, you just have to get louder and more vexatious with your appearance and with your attitude, and clothing is depleting over the years. People are getting way more risque, and if they didn't have the visual through music videos or movies or cologne ads or anything like that, we wouldn't be it. That's where we get the suggestion to portray ourselves as such, and the entire pop culture is running right with it, and you see it every day when you go outside. That was 100% influenced by the images on TV.
For sure. Who is one of your favorite visual artists, and what is one of your favorite styles of visual arts?
I have a couple of favorite visual artists. The first one probably wouldn't even consider himself a visual artist. Maynard James Keenan, the frontman of Tool and Pussifer and A Perfect Circle, he takes you on this musical journey, and it's very elaborate, it's very symbolic. He takes you to a world, and that's just the music. And to help the world better understand the journey that you're following, he adds these intense light shows in his live performances. The album covers are filled with artwork that really it puts you in a place as deep as the music wants to take you. And without those visuals, the impact of the music to me just wouldn't be the same. Now, my other example is an actual director and movie maker. His name is David Lynch, and he deals with a lot of dark side situations. It's really, to an average person watching the movie, it's very hard to follow, but what he does that I'm intrigued by as far as the visuals, he uses lighting and focuses your attention through different colored lights, like warm and cool, dangerous situations, safe zones, and that if you can tap into that and understand what he's showing you through his imagery, it helps you understand these elaborate, dark plots that you might not necessarily understand or be able to comprehend in your own life. And that's totally done by the use of movie magic, lighting, and symbolism and key images that are repeatedly shown. It just gives you clues as to just what's going on, and without those visuals, you really may have a hard time understanding. My favorite style of visual art, honestly, there is a large movement happening right now. It's street art. It's the spray paint art. My favorite local artist right now, his name is Dan Warman, and he's getting really big in the scene. He's done a lot of work for me. Just this creative, you can take an image, you can stencil it, you can just create this world, and I'm seeing it being repeated in a lot. The Obama campaign picture was stenciled out by a famous street artist, and they used that as his main campaign, so it's getting more attention as a respectable form of art. It was underground, and now it's starting to break out. And people's shirts you see with the spray paint stuff, I'm really liking that. It's very edgy, and it started underground, and now it's getting popular.
And it's not too loud, like you were saying earlier.
And it's also all about perspective, as I was saying. And you create this composite of an image, and it strikes you however it's going to strike you, and it can mean something completely different to the artist.
How has your knowledge of famous artwork influenced your creative process?
To pick a favorite, I will use Alex Gray as an example. He is the man that does the most visual, inspiring, most colorful, most beautiful, in tune to life images I've ever seen. And those are the images that the band Tool that I referenced earlier uses a lot throughout their visual performances and their album artwork. In fact, a piece by Alex Gray. It is, it's called The Third Eye. I have a tattoo of it, and it actually directly named the studio. The studio is called Third Eye Studio, and that came because of him. I would more or less say that I've been more influenced by not having a knowledge of famous artists. I've been surrounded by artists my entire life, and my favorites are people that I've grown up with or people that I've been inspired by along the way. That's like real life to me. It's people on their way to fame, and through seeing their journey and seeing what it took for them to get to where they were comfortable enough to put a piece of their heart into their work out and show it to other people. That's really what inspired me to get into the art shows, to start a studio so we could do our own art shows, and to just dive into photography. There are a million photographers in the world, and it is a tough profession to try to be successful in, but really if you have a passion, I see all these people with passion. That's what everybody has in common with the artists that I really like, and if you follow your passion, it can take you anywhere.
I'd like to thank you for allowing me to come into Third Eye Studio and conduct this interview with you.
No problemo, anytime!